Welcome back to the Cardinal Report. Joining us now is North Cenrtal Sports Information Director, Clark Teuscher. Clark, thanks for checking in.
Good to be here.
So there's lots to talk about in North Cenrtal athletics from this past weekend. We'll start with the men's basketball team, who secured their spot to the big dance, winning the CCIW tournament for the second year in a row.
Yeah, you know, the saying is you can leap into the postseason or you can limp in, and that's certainly a two-footed leap into the postseason, winning not only an overtime game against Illinois Wesleyan earlier in the week, but then 2 games on consecutive days to win a conference tournament championship for the second straight year. A heck of a way for a couple of seniors to go out against conference competition.
Yeah, you might argue that they beat their 3 biggest rivals in Augustana, Wheaton College, Illinois Wesleyan in 3 consecutive games. There's no better way to go into the postseason strong.
Yeah, you know, they won in kind of in different ways. You know, in all 3 games, you know, they went from, you know, playing kind of a faster paced game with good shooting on Tuesday to kind of a defensive-oriented slugfest where you kind of had to piece together your scoring where you could, and then to Saturday where, you know, you just kind of you get ahead early and you're protecting a lead for pretty much the entire game, but you know, the other team just won't go away no matter how many times you try and swat them off of you there. So certainly a good experience as you prepare for tournament play coming up here in the next few weeks.
And in the semis, it was back and forth battle with the Thunder, but an unsung hero throughout the year. Jack Bouchette really stepped up in that game. Off the bench, he's been a real plus for this team all year long. Yeah,
if you told Todd that Jack was going to be the leading scorer, I think he'd be packing his bags and getting ready to head home. But you know, Jack had career highs in points and rebounds in Friday's semifinal game. Wound up being the team's leading scorer. Came back with another double-double on Saturday. You know, just really started to play confidently with the physical gifts that he has, and really was a load for both of those teams to try and stop.
And that's a big plus, getting another big man going. But Landon Gamble, the main big man for the Cardinals, he leads 4 other Cardinals in the CCIW accolades that were announced this week.
Yeah, you know, they had 4 last year as well, so certainly a nice show of respect from the other coaches in the conference as far as what they've been able to do. You know, Derek Raridan named the conference's most outstanding player as the first one at North Cenrtal in 21 years. Certainly a well-deserved reward for a 4-year career where he's really made life difficult for all the coaches that wound up voting for him.
Yeah, he's had a great career going from freshman year where he was an all-conference selection. Not many Cardinals make it all 4 years to the all-conference team.
Yeah, he's actually just the second one, and the other one is in our Hall of Fame. So certainly good company for him to be in. And, you know, he's got his name in a lot of places in the record book, and I think he's past all of that now and just kind of looking to finish his career with a win, and there's only one way to do that.
And the preparation paid off for the men's and women's indoor track and field teams as they both come away with CCIW championships after the tournament in Kenosha.
Yeah, not a surprise on the men's side. They've had this meet 13 times, and North Cenral's won it all 13. Had the second highest point total they've ever had at that meet, and crowned 6 individual champions. On the women's side, it was a bit of a different story. They were up against Illinois Wesleyan, who was ranked 3rd in the country heading into that meet. You know, North Cenrtal trailed at the end of the first day and wound up performing really well in some events that we might not have expected them to do so in, and wound up winning by about 20 points. So it was certainly an encouraging sign for a team that's still pretty young in a lot of events.
Yeah, no real surprise for the men's team. They were expected to win, but the women's team, that was a little bit unexpected because, as you said, the 3rd-ranked team in the nation. Do you think the Titans were resting some ladies possibly for nationals, or do the Cardinals just have the better day?
I don't think so. I think they were probably running their full complement of athletes. I think there were certain events that they typically score a lot of points in that were a little more spread out this year. And then North Cenrtal had some events, you know, particularly the women's high jump comes to mind, where they had 5 of the 8 scoring places that North Cenrtal was able to pile up a lot of points. And, you know, those are the kind of performances that wind up swaying a lot of those meets where you have multiple teams.
We'll see if the women can crack the rankings before the national meet, but the men's have already done so. They've been sitting in 4th for a couple weeks now as they head into that national meet in under 14 days now.
Yeah, they'll have one more ranking with just the qualifiers represented in that once those are announced on Monday. So I think once that comes out, we'll see a little bit more of a clear picture of who we can expect to do well at the meet on the 8th and 9th.
Well, it should be an exciting meet. Clark, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
The women's basketball season may be over, but the men's team made it to the big dance. The Cardinals welcome in Cenrtal College this Saturday to Murner Fieldhouse for round 1 action. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. If you can't make it to the game, you can catch all the action live on nctv17.com. I'm Marc Dahlquist. We'll see you here next time on the Cardinal Report.